What up, fam? Pat for this Line Boughton here, and today I want to talk to you about music and storytelling and the way music has sustained and maintained society and civilization and history and even governments across the ancient human history. What I'm talking about is the bardic tradition. There are bards from multiple cultures and civilizations across history, but the word bard itself actually stems from a Gaelic word and is attributed to the ancient Druidic and Celtic societies, where Druidic priests and bards were often held in similar esteem because they performed such central and crucial roles to maintaining the structure of the society and civilization of the Druids. And this is particularly important because at the time, the Druids, or the Celts specifically, had not developed any major or significant written language. And so all of their stories, all of their math, all of their history, all of their genealogies, their laws were maintained and committed through memory. And what's fantastic about that is they were particularly committed through song, which is why the Druids, or not the Druids, but the bards themselves were so particularly important to maintaining Celtic society. They would travel and scatter and intertwine themselves across the tribes in the land, where they would sing songs committing to memory and to story and time the triumphs and glories of kings and rulers, of committing and transmitting laws that were passed down from rulers, of pronouncing and maintaining contracts that were written and agreed upon, as well as just generally entertaining and spreading the knowledge and news of the land across the area. But what's interesting about the bards is they are not alone. They're in Western Africa, pre-European civilization and colonization. There were massive cities and expansive roadways and city planning and agricultural works, and there was a group of people there called the griots. Now, what's interesting about griot is that it's actually a French origin word that was handed to this group of people by the colonizers there, but they maintained a very similar status and structure or purpose inside of many of the Western African kingdoms and civilizations, where they would tell the triumphs and glories of rulers, share the laws, tell the histories, spread news and events, and share contracts and laws, committing them to memory in verse, in song, and spreading them across the land. And even in the Hindu nations, prior to the arrival of British colonization, there were another bardic group of people that were part of the caste system that's part of, Hindu tradition, and there were two primary groups there. You had the Bhats, as well as Bhat, as well as the Charans, or Karans, I'm not sure how to pronounce that word. But these were two hierarchical levels of bards that should be familiar by now, tell of the glorious exploits of the rulers and spread them across the kingdoms, remember laws and put them to verse and transport them across the land, maintain the histories of the area and tell them to people. All of these people were crucial to the maintenance of society and education and spreading around and maintaining the knowledge base prior to there being significant written language. This is how people communicated and shared knowledge. And it's also true, not just there, it's interesting how similar they are, because it's entirely possible that over the centuries prior to colonization, there could have been, a cultural mixing and cross-pollination, but also these could have also been independently developed traditions that were just the same. Because even across the Himalayas, across Western China, there's another class of people that were devoted to maintaining the historical traditions of Western China. And even when there was not any known or significant cross-pollination, many Native American tribes used song to tell autobiographies of chiefs or selves or individuals and share the stories of religious beliefs and creation and laws of the land. And the thing that is so beautiful to this is that this just seems to be a standard feature amongst civilization that we even use today. And I would put forth to you modern examples of things like April 29th, 1992 by Sublime, telling the story of the Rodney King riots in Los Angeles. We also have The Streets by Grandmaster Flash, right, telling the story, the tradition of telling the story of the place where they're from. We have The Wreck of the Edmunds Fitzgerald by Gordon Lightfoot, as well as many, many other storytellers through song that keep the history and essence of society and civilization put together. And in their tradition, I also wrote a song trying to tell the story and commemorate and keep alive what we're experiencing here and now with our isolations and quarantines through this COVID-19 pandemic. And so I thought I would take this moment to, in the tradition of all of our ancient ancestors across time and cultures and civilizations, share with you this song. Fires that we light just might incite some interesting tidbits. Breathing like this, the burning in your heart subsides with time. We all need a little lifeline, and you told me you were feeling blue. I got a lot of love and I can give it to you. Everything is beautiful. Everything is beautiful. Everything is beautiful. Everything is beautiful. The island of the mind's unkind sometimes. Waves don't miss this nature's sweet kiss. The sea gives rise to friends in time. Keep your head above the waterline, and you told me you were feeling blue. I got a lot of love and I can give it to you. Everything is beautiful. Everything is beautiful. Everything is beautiful. Everything's still beautiful. The wind still sings and our babies dream of the future we promised. We still got this. It never really seemed we'd be on easy street, but our souls are strong and so are our feet, and we'll share the colors of feet.